I am not a toy you can play with when you're bored or lonely or horny. I am not the girl the guy gets at the end of the movie. I am not a fantasy. If you want me, earn me. Until then, we are done.
The experience of never being desired when I was younger just makes me realize how I internalized so many things about myself that weren't true or just didn't matter. Like, so many of my thoughts were consumed by, am I not pretty enough? Am I not interesting enough? Am I not smart enough? Am I not funny enough? And not just enough for men, but just in general, was I enough? And as I've gotten older, I've gotten over that, but it's just interesting to me to just sit back and reflect and think about how I really believed that I wasn't enough of a human being just because people weren't desiring me romantically. Like, that just so isn't true, and it's crazy how we internalize those things about ourselves.
That's okay, we have thick skin.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Thick snake skin. Oh my god. I can't. Get out. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Being consistently told you're attractive but never having a boyfriend. Having a group of friends but they only like you because you're attractive and they secretly want to mess around with you on the low. Meeting a guy or a girl at the bar but they only want to mess around with you because you fit a certain niche of a demographic. Like, you're a black girl, but the white guy at the bar, the frat guy at the bar, wants to talk to you, he wants to mess around with you, but he doesn't date black girls. He's low-key into trans girls, but he's not gonna say that. He's only gonna mess around with you for the experience, for the fun, but he's not gonna actually date you. Sexually desired but romantically overlooked. A hot take. Let's get into it. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to your boy's channel. If you're new here, hi, how are you? My name is Mars. Let's get right into this video. So with Valentine's Day being right around the corner, I thought this would be the perfect time to talk about this video I've had in my back pocket for quite some time. It was something I wanted to talk about like last summer when I ran across this tweet. Being sexually desired by so many people but not romantically desired is giving me brain damage. And when I tell you there were so many replies to this tweet, there was hundreds of replies, hundreds of quote tweets, different little think pieces, different little hot take, and somehow some Twitter users still seem to chalk it up or boil it down to, oh my god, being pretty is so hard, it's so hard. When reality, it's not just that. Let's talk about the objectification, let's talk about the sexualization, let's talk about the fetishization. People see other people just off of their being, what they present to the world, versus getting to know them. They see them as objects to be used for their own entertainment, fun, or their own experiences. So this is a video that actually touches me like deep, because being a conventionally attractive person, per se, I guess perceived to many people, not on no cocky stuff either. To be perceived as conventionally attractive and to be consistently hit on, or to be consistently desired without any regard for who you are as a person, it's not fun. Like, it's really not.
Okay.
There was even the rationale on Twitter that just because you're seemingly attractive, you automatically have the personality of a shoe. You automatically have zero personality. It's like, oh baby, maybe you're just not the catch that you think you are. Think about that. But instead of trying to have this I got you moment, let's dig deeper. Like, why are you objectifying a person versus getting to know them? Why are you trying to sexualize a person versus getting to know them? Why are you fetishizing a person but don't want to get into a relationship with them? Let's talk about that aspect. What is up, y'all? So it's Mars here, just popping in to make a quick point. So let me just digress and say that it's perfectly plausible for someone who is conventionally attractive or seen to be pretty or handsome or just beautiful or whatever. Some people completely rely on their looks versus having an actual sense of a personality to coincide with being attractive. So that's not the point I'm actually trying to get at. It's more so when you're a nice person, you actually have a personality, but people look at you for sex, or they look at you to sleep with you, or they look at you just for their own desires versus getting to know you on a deeper level. So that's the point I kind of want to make. I think a perfect example of this is Instagram. If you go on Instagram, you have hundreds of followers, thousands of followers. You're following people that you want to see. You want to see their posts, you want to see their images. You have an Instagram crush that you are kind of feeling, never met them in person, but you're going off of their Instagram pictures, their online persona, but but then you finally meet them and they're nothing like what you expected, that's because you created an idea of them in your head versus who they actually are. You sexualized them, you wanted to get to know them, you were attracted to their physical being versus their personality. It's hard to gauge someone's personality from just pictures on Instagram, especially if they're like these top model-esque pictures where everyone's like, it's curated. So it's interesting, or it's funny when I hear people say, oh, like, I met it with my Instagram crush and he was nothing like I expected. Well, what did you expect? Because you don't know the person. You didn't take the time to get to know them. And once you did and you found out you weren't attracted to them or you didn't like them, you were out the door. I feel like Instagram's a perfect example of being sexually desired but romantically overlooked. You don't really know the person, you're only going off the physical image that they present to you and present to the world. So imagine having an online persona, quote unquote, in your day-to-day. Like, you're just a walking, like, people just find you attractive, people always want to hit on you, people always want to like holler at you, talk to you, you know, mess around, sleep with you. But when it comes to having a relationship, when it comes to actually getting to know the person, going out for coffee, going out for like grabbing drinks, they not always down for that. And that's when you know you're being sexually desired versus being romantically pursued. Now let me go on and just add to this point by saying that if you're on Instagram and you're objectifying yourself, you're sexualizing yourself, you're putting that out there. So the response you're getting back, like if you're always posting thirst traps, if you're always posting shirtless selfies, if you're always posting yourself in a thong, what do you expect the response to be? So I'm not really talking to that point. It's more so like you're just really doing your day-to-day and people find something attractive about you and they want to sleep with you. That's what it is to be sexually desired. And I feel like that's the point that most people can relate to the most. What they see on the outside is all they are attracted to and all they want to have a chance at getting that versus getting to know you for who you are. I've actually had this instance one time when I went out with my friend. We went to like the bar or something and this guy came up to me, never met him a day before in my life, don't know him from a can of paint, a dog in a shoe, a hole in the wall. And he's like, oh, you're very cute. What's your name? Are you a top or a bottom? Sir, I don't know you from nowhere. Like, I don't know what you do for a living. You could be the killer. Like, excuse me? This is not on no cocky shit either, but this is something that I seem to go through a lot. I'm like, being seen as conventionally attractive, people want to sleep with me or mess around with me or whatever the case may be, but when it comes to like getting to know me as an actual person, getting to know me offline, off of Instagram, y'all, it's crickets. Y'all don't be around, girl. Y'all don't. Not only that, but I feel like I'm a confident person already. So hearing your compliments, hearing that you want to sleep with me, that does nothing for me. It does not validate who I am. So you just coming up, so like people who always consistently come up to me, oh, you're so handsome, good morning, gorgeous, just in my DMs, just making me out to be an object for your affection, your desires, child, you don't get no responses from me, like, at all. And I think this is just me talking from like the gay experience, being a young gay man, but I think you can also talk to this point from being a woman. For example, a woman's experience, it seems like they go through this on the daily, especially through my research and asking around to some of my mutuals online and just getting a feel for this topic. Not only that, but imagine being a trans person and trying to date around. That seems to be the experience of being a trans individual, is that people only want to sleep around with you because that's what they're low-key into. But when it's time to actually date you, crickets. They wouldn't be seen in public sometimes, which is actually disheartening to hear. Some of the replies in this tweet were filthy, girl. Like filthy. Trying to chalk it up to being pretty privilege versus objectification and sexualization, girl. I don't get it. And I don't think I'll ever get it, because maybe it's just, that's just not my cup of tea, that's not my gig, it's not what I do. I just need my people to be released from the shackles of lust, girl. Be released from the shackles of lust, because y'all have been locked in for way too long. Way too long, and to be honest, I am tired. Girl, I am tired of being on the opposite end, the receiving end of your desires and your wants, especially when I don't know you from nothing, nowhere. It baffles me, to be honest. It's crazy if you actually break it down and piece it together. You don't think about the effects that you're having by projecting your wants onto someone else. You don't, like, making someone feel like an object just for you. How does that make someone feel about their self-esteem? Like, that you can sleep with me, but you can't date with me. You can use my body, but you can't even hold my hand. Like, it don't make no sense to me, nowhere and no time. Iyanla Vanzant, I don't understand. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't understand.
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
Because y'all don't be wanting me for real. Y'all don't be wanting me. Y'all just want to sleep with me. I'm just an object. Just to sum it up, I think attractiveness is a privilege per se based on genetics, but it's also the intersectionality of how people perceive you. Being conventionally attractive versus not so conventionally attractive are not the same thing. There's multiple layers to this. Your online persona, how you present yourself to the world, how people view you. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments down below. I thought this was very fitting since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, but let me know, have you been a victim of objectification? Have you been a victim of sexualization and fetishization? Let me know in the comments down below, because I feel like a lot of us have different experiences that we can talk to really bring this conversation to light. I feel like a lot of us relate to it as well, but it's not something that, like, it's known, but like I'm not seeing the conversations being had about this. So let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below. If you like what you see and want to see more of me, definitely subscribe. But until then, I'll see you on my next video. Bye.